clap. Ding, 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 ding.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. Andrew is wearing his cargo pants today.
Yeah, I am wearing my cargo pants today.
Yeah, it's
Have you got
cargo.
some thoughts, comments?
I do have some thoughts.
Sure.
The disappointment when you hear about cargo pants is the fact that they're actually cargo trousers as opposed to pants that have the same amount of pockets on. That would be a better invention, I feel.
Pants have the same amount of pockets
Well,
on.
one of the key elements of a cargo pant is the amount of pockets it has.
It's got more pockets than usual.
So imagine pants with that many pockets.
You're talking about underwear?
Underwear.
You're talking undies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket undies.
Yeah, but with as many pockets as a cargo trousers.
How would they work, though? Would you have...
We're talking like Y-fronts or boxers. I don't think we can fit them on Y-fronts, but we could try.
What you could do with Y-fronts is you could have them flapping down.
I think that then they become boxers.
No. So it's a Y-front and then sort of like a photo rack. You know, like on the back of the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Sometimes have like a cellophane thing where they put loads of family memories in.
Yeah. I think that's only because I've been to your bathroom.
We keep in our house. We keep all of our family photos in one place.
Why is there always family photos in the bathroom?
That's just a thing. But have you noticed that my sorry to go off the very important.
We'll get back to the cargo pants. Don't worry.
Have you noticed? I think one of the key things about my mum, which is the most my mum thing ever, is the lack of family portraits anywhere. There's nowhere in the house.
I suppose there's not.
They're all on the back of the spare room.
There's creepy pictures of like spider statues.
There's spider statues. There's kind of like
ornaments,
like ornaments. But there's nothing of her kids.
No. No.
When you go to nearly any house of a family, you'll have
pictures of the family.
You'll have holiday pics.
Yeah.
At the far end, you'll have the staged photos.
Staged? Like the portraits in black and white when they're all leaning on the floor
and they're all playing
head
around,
in their hands and their legs in the air behind them.
Which it should be stamped out.
Yeah.
But my mum puts all of them on the back of the spare room door, and that's it. They're just all put together.
Of the spare room door?
Yeah.
How would you read that?
I'd say that my mum has a far more specific. I think anything being naff or tacky or anything that I think is seen as kind of like
a family.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think pictures of your family from the culture she's come from, I think that is a bit like it's a bit naff.
What, Lewis?
No, she's not from Lewis.
Where's she from?
Cookfield.
Exactly.
But anyway, back to the cargo pants.
No, because on the other end, the problem is my mum puts a fair amount of ones around, but she fancies herself as an interior designer.
Sure.
So it's tasteful. But in our old house, she decided that was a place to put like a big frame of loads of different pictures of our family in it.
Yeah.
So every time I went to the toilet, I'd end up staring into my eyes because I prefer to stare into my eyes than my mum and my sister's eyes.
It's the most respectful thing you could do.
Yeah, I'm not pissing when I'm looking at my sister.
And you also, used to masturbate in your toilet more before I started masturbating in my toilet.
Sure.
That was one of the first places. Was that, because I remember having a conversation where I thought, I didn't really know that was like a done thing.
Yeah.
But you used to masturbate in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And there's a funny story that I think about regularly. I mean, I do talk about your masturbating habits quite a lot. But this is one of my favourite ones. Sure. Is Andrew's used to live in a house in... Wait, does Sally still live there? Does she still live in Elm Tree?
No.
Yeah. Yes, of course. He used to live in a very it was a very small house. It was very tight. So
it was one of those buildings that you see pop up everywhere that looks a bit like a toy village, and it was like a new build. To cram as many divorcees into one place as possible.
Thin walls, not a lot of privacy, and then you have a toilet at the top of the stairs. And you used to masturbate sat on the toilet, which I always thought was.
Well, would you prefer me to masturbate into the toilet?
Yeah.
No, man, that's fucking weird.
I think it's weird sitting on the toilet wanking.
One of our friends does.
What, he sits on the toilet wanking?
No, he wanks into the toilet.
One of our friends?
Wanks into the toilet.
Do you mean one of our housemates?
Yeah.
Do you mean Taha?
No. And then we'll leave it, Can we say that? Oh, I'll ask him after. It's Adam,
He's fucking...
Yeah, so he stands.
It's degrading.
And he has one wank a month.
And I bet he doesn't have a huge sex drive, this guy.
And he's got APT, which is called anterior pelvic tilt, which means his bum sticks out more than usual.
Which is, yeah.
So it actually gives him a good angle to wank.
And I imagine he puts his hands on his hips while he does it.
He's a sassy wanker. I've never seen him wank, but I can imagine him being a sassy wanker.
I imagine it's sort of like the way that... Okay, I apologise.
Yeah.
But the way that...
We're going to be clean at this end.
We're going to be clean. The way that Adam masturbates...
It's a bad start.
...is the same way a clearly ending marriage of 20 years that's heading towards a divorce.
Yeah.
How the wife might toss
someone
the husband.
Off. Reluctantly.
Just sort of like...
Yeah.
Maybe
going
hands
through the
on the
motions.
hip. Yeah, no. You've got you're doing lots of stuff around the house.
It's almost like
he's
wanking.
You're trying to just stop him to bothering you, so it's just like...
It's almost like he's wanking because he's read there's some health benefits to it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so he goes straight into the toilet, and me and Taha were both equally bemused.
Yeah.
Because that's mental, that kind of thing. And
I just think sat on the toilet it's already embarrassing masturbating, but...
Do you know what?
As an image, sat on the toilet, and for some reason, I'm imagining your feet are off the ground.
Well, it's like one of those stools that people have.
I just think they're balanced up. That you're kind of just like
just on the wall. It was a small toilet. I could have put my foot on the door.
But then Sally would go, "Are you all right in there, Andrew?" You'd not knock on the door.
And I wouldn't miss a beat, man. I'd keep wanking.
But didn't you say,
I'm
having a shit? I'm having a poo. Didn't you say
yeah,
those?
of course. Because she was like, you've been in there a long time. I was like, what the fuck do you think I do?
And then you're saying I'm having a poo.
Yeah. And that was code. Because it's like, you know what I'm fucking doing? Leave me alone.
No, and I completely agree. But it is funny. Young Andrew sat on the toilet.
Having a wank and saying he's having a poo. Yeah. Well, it's always the one thing, like...
It's funny.
Is when someone is doing something embarrassing. If they reply with something that sounds like a lie and it's still embarrassing, they must be doing something really embarrassing in there. Because you're always going to say something that's kind of embarrassing, but...
Yeah.
Not
it's
enough.
like if I'm having a shit at my girlfriend's.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing there? I'm like, I'm having a wank. I'm having a wank. I'm not.
Well, no. You wouldn't say that, would you? You say
I'm having a wank.
Yeah, and then she'd be like, well, that's incredibly offensive. I'm literally here. Why don't you have sex with me?
And then I had to build up
After
this
being with her for like 2 years, you're already wanking in her bathroom toilet when you don't live with each other. It's not ideal.
And she doesn't think I shit though. She just thinks that
actually,
I've managed to save that.
For the thing that I've just come out of for the last 2 years, there has been what?
Sorry.
There has been no recollection of either. I've never acknowledged that she shits and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean it's taken me and Bibi a long time, but I think traveling you cross that boundary, and it's
that's why I broke up with her.
It's sort of Andrew's recently single, but I do think the next step of a relationship is wanting to be comfortable enough knowing each other.
Yeah.
That's not only getting there, but wanting to get there.
Because like when you're building up like farts and stuff.
I honestly thought you were going to say a healthy relationship.
Oh, well, it was really serious. Yeah, when you're building a healthy relationship. Anyway, enough of the comedy. Let's be real here. No,
it's when you're building
up farts. Yeah, but when you're building up farts, and it does a number on your stomach, doesn't it? Of course.
Yeah. It's not healthy being in a long-term casual relationship for your bowels. No.
So you have to be in a good enough relationship that you want to be able to release the gas.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be that your stomach problems are getting severe enough that you want to take it the next step with her. And unfortunately, I didn't get that.
It's true.
Is that right?
I mean, we laugh. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But we laugh. But it is true. It's. I do find those sort of politics really fascinating. Is that it's really not healthy. But then you also don't want to go the other way. Like
where there's people who just do it like on the second date kind of thing.
Yeah, and then there's I just certainly met relationships who got very comfortable with each other quite early doors.
Yeah.
And they'd boast about like she'd be brushing her teeth and he'd be sitting having a shit.
No, never. No, like fine, do it.
Keep some mystery.
Still, yeah, and I still think I'm going to advocate it when I'm with my partner of 30 years that I've been married to. I'll be like, let's just not do that. I know it can often be easy, and maybe we both have busy mornings.
What you burst
But I'd like to maintain a sex life. And like, even I'm sure you can maintain a sex life while doing it. But I think, why not? Just do it. Just don't fuck each other without having the image of them having a poo. Like, That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's keep some mystery. I don't think you have to strike a balance between mystery and closeness. And I think we can go around not shitting in front of each other.
I think we could do it.
Yeah.
I believe in us.
Another quick thing.
Yeah.
On
I still haven't talked about my
Adam.
cargo pants, but we'll get back to
We'll get back to the cargo pants. But on Adam, this and his wanking, but let's big him up a bit now.
Yeah.
As we all know, big balls, small dick. Small balls, big dick. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catty dad, messy slut.
Catty done messy slut. So me and Adam were really drunk and we came back and we were sipping on some whiskey and the conversation got to our ball sizes. And Adam had said he's got really big balls.
This has been 50 minutes wall to wall of smut. Well, I'm
yeah,
here
but
for it. That's what they're coming here for.
This is it's not offensive. It's just smart. So we were talking about the size of our balls and I was like, yeah, I've got quite small balls actually. And I was like, I think it helps because it makes my dick look even bigger.
I don't think you have a big dick. I just think you have really small balls. I think it's just a relative.
Do you reckon? Do you think it's like a perspective?
I think it's a perspective.
Yeah, it's like, well, those are just like peas. So if you put a green bean in there, it looks fucking huge. No, but Adam was like, I've got really big balls because someone had mentioned it to him recently, and so we went, fuck it, let's compare.
Someone.
So we said, fuck it, let's compare. So we got them out on the table. Dude, here's a double.
If you can get them out on the table, that's sort of
rest them on the table.
Yeah,
we rested them on the table.
It wasn't like a.
We got our balls out.
It wasn't
on the
like
table.
getting like a duffel bag onto a. It wasn't like,
We didn't even put them on the table ratio. It was a bit of like comedic license.
Yeah.
We got them out. And
they're getting them out. I'm just saying it really implies big balls if you get them out on the table.
Well, his
because it implies some sort of, getting them out.
No, you get your balls if you get your dick out. No, regardless of how big the dick is, you get your balls out. What would you like me to say?
Get your balls out. Get your balls out on the table implies.
So the table's the problem.
The
now.
table implies.
This is shifting.
I'm just saying the table implies a lot of weight behind the balls.
You could put something light on a table. You could put a light glass on a table. You could put a pea on a table. A glass is heavy. You could put a pea on the table.
Get my pea out on the table. Get my. Anyway, carry on.
If I had a lighter, I'd get my lighter out and put it on the table. This is a really odd comment.
Yeah. Go on.
Which has kind of ruined the punchline. His balls were double my size. Double. At least. It's crazy. Double the size.
You must have really small balls.
No, he's got. Well, I have small balls and he's got big balls, and the two of them just kind of went perfect together.
Yeah,
they didn't go perfectly together.
For more kind of like chat like this, sort of stellar conversations, please subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes.
We are moving ever forth towards the
triumph.
The media conglomerate is growing. So get in early, I would say, before we price out, before we gentrify the area. Yeah. So I think kind of getting a Patreon membership of Boys Gone Wild is sort of like getting a house in a sort of up and coming area, buying it, and then it becomes gentrified, and before you know it, no one can buy.
Yeah.
So get involved early. We also are doing our live podcast at the Bill Murray, 8 p.m. Monday 30th of May.
2 hours.
End of this month. 2 hours. We're gonna have guests on. It's gonna be great.
Props.
It's gonna be the first time we're gonna see. We've already had the voice notes coming in, which is the time you can hear the BGW, the Privy Council.
Yeah.
But to meet them all in person, it's going to be... I think there's something special about live podcasts above almost all other live events in the sense of getting such a...
niche community.
Getting such an online community.
Yeah.
And getting them out and just seeing... I want to see the colour schemes.
Some of the faces behind the usernames.
I want to see the faces. I want to see the jeans.
Simon KG, if you're out there listening, we do want you to come.
Of course, we want everyone to come.
If he's ghost listening.
We need to see all of... This is our first live podcast after 2 years of doing the pod.
We need all the freaks.
We need all the freaks. It's a freak show. The whole thing is going to be a freak show.
2 hours.
Yeah.
It's not much. How much? £10.
We have lots of single fans of both genders. I think if there's any time that you're going to meet the one, it would be a Boys Gone Wild live podcast.
It would, yeah. And we're going to have an orgy afterwards.
Ooh, yeah. For sure. So yes, you're single. How is that?
Yeah, it's going all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, it's fresh.
Yeah.
I kind of woke up...
Single.
When I woke up single, I had about 6 wanks.
Oh, yeah.
In the space of... I don't want to go back.
We just...
Yeah, but what do you want me to do? Right, okay, but it's more my sexual urges just kind of boomed again. because when things aren't going very well, it can kind of quell your sexual urges.
We'll stay on the masturbation briefly. I know we've already
this is just sexual urges.
But this is sexual urges. But so you've changed that from 8. You told me 8.
No, but that I meant right. That was 6. I said I was just saying in the morning when I woke up. It's an exaggeration.
Okay.
But it was at least 8 that day.
So during that day, because I also noticed that Andrew wasn't particularly libidinally charged over the last month or so. And we as I often bring up his libidinal urges, certainly I wasn't bringing them up as much in the pod because it just didn't feel like I wasn't getting that aggressive, potent energy coming off you.
Yeah,
that sort of thick musk.
The spunk's back.
But Andrew said the first day that he was single, he masturbated 8 times, which is an extraordinary number.
Your face.
It's just extraordinary.
It is. It's pushing ridiculous. But
I imagine you just as soon as you get slightly turned on, it's just like if you can. I just imagine there's just like you'll be going about your day and then suddenly you
depends in the context.
You'll see a vase that looks
a particularly curvaceous lamppost,
and you're like, well,
that's me done for a bit. No, partially. I guess so. I mean, it depends on the context. I don't just if I have the urge on the tube, I know there aren't any toilets on the tube.
If there were, it would have been.
If there were. I'm only 5 minutes down the road to Sentley Green and I'm going popping in the toilets. But no, it's the sexual charge has gone down a little bit, which I'm really, really thankful for.
What you mean? Because you're entering your mid-20s?
No, because it's gone down from 8 to 3.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in the last week, I got a bit out in the earlier stages, but now it's kind of at a more reasonable level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it isn't tenable to maintain that kind of relationship with your penis. For both of you.
It's one of the longest relationships you have.
Hey.
Oh, I don't even. That wasn't a pun. There was no pun intended.
Yeah, I know.
So is that all you had to say on that?
I think so. Yeah, really.
That you wanked a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there is anything else I can say whilst being respectful. Which there probably isn't.
Oh yeah, you're not good at that.
Saying respectful things.
No, not at all. Do you want to bring up that story?
Yeah, let's do this now. Actually,
because there's the porn in Parliament, but I'm gonna push that to the back because of how.
Well, this is also a ridiculous one. Okay, no, but it makes sense to do it now. Okay. It's funny. This isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Right, but so I went out with one of my friends for a drink, for a few drinks. On just like a Thursday night, and it was I wasn't like that drunk.
Yeah,
I didn't get crazy drunk. We were pretty drunk.
Yeah,
but not like mental drunk. Okay, mostly because I said I don't want to have too many because I'm busy. I'm busy the next night and for the next 6 days. So this was my one day off, and she was asking, "Can I see you?" And I said, "Yeah, but you have to tell us to stop because I'm not going to." No. And then even though I went, "This is our last one. We're finishing after this, okay? You have to say that." I think we had a few more after that. So I was pretty drunk, not crazy drunk. Then got back home.
Yeah.
Went to bed.
Yeah.
I then woke up in the middle of the night, and I was pissing in the corner of my room.
No way.
Like not just like trickle, like flat out urinating. In the corner of my room. Hilariously, it was like in the most convenient corner to piss. Like it was out in the way on the left hand corner of my room by the door. And I woke up and I was like, what? And like, because you wake up halfway through it and you're still going and you're trying to bring yourself around, and then you were like, and then because you were basically sleepwalking or whatever, and then I was like, oh fuck, I've just pissed in my room. So then I was like, I've got this like shit towel that I used to mop up
piss.
Well, now that's what it does. I put the towel on there and I was like, right, okay, I can't really do much about this now, so I'm gonna go to bed. Went to bed and then woke up, and then I think I had the day off and I was voice noting a lot of my friends, just like singing random shit, having a good time. You know? Woke up having a good time. I woke up having a good time. I was goofing around, was sending different people funny voice notes, and then I was midway through a voice note and I went, "Wait, did that happen? Was that a dream?" I then like sat up and then just saw like the corner of the towel there. I was like, "Yeah, it happened." It happened. And I've never done anything like this before in my life. Even when I've got really drunk, I have never done anything. There's a couple of our friends who do this regularly, and it's a problem.
What, pissing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pissing on different people's sofas, and also
beanbags as well.
On beanbags. One of our friends was pissing on a beanbag, just directly onto a beanbag. But it's not something I've ever done, and nor if it's something that... No, it's not something that I've ever done, and nor is it... whatever. It's not something that I've ever done before. And nor was I that drunk to constitute that.
How drunk were you?
Not that. That's why I've already explained that quite a lot. Not that drunk. No way near drunk enough for that level of behaviour. And also, I was seeing a girl that night. So I was like, well, if she comes back, my room's going to smell of urine, potentially.
Okay, all right, yeah.
You got it?
I'm up to my date.
Yeah. So, for me, my first thought was, well, if she does come back to my house, I'm just going to be the guy. I'll be like, no, that's my... that's my piss corner. You can't piss in that corner. You can piss in the other corner.
Own it.
Exactly, own it. Go into it.
Yeah.
But no, in reality, I spent about an hour cleaning it properly, aired everything out, basically bleached it. So we were all back to normal. Yeah. But it was harrowing.
Did you ask me for where the Hoover was?
That was just because I was cleaning my room in general. But it was during the clean-up session, yeah.
Okay.
It was part of the same clean-up session, not part of the, where the cleaning was happening. But that happened.
So, what time at night was it?
Couldn't tell you. If I didn't know where the toilet was, how would I know what time it is?
And you went straight back to bed?
Yeah.
But it was dark. It was like middle of the night.
Yeah. I got back and it was dark.
Yeah.
I didn't get really drunk.
Yeah, but I know. I was wondering if it was like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning when the sun's coming through.
Nah, it was probably about 3 a.m. if I had to guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's worrying. You know.
It's not a precedent I want to set.
No, it's not. Because it is a common thing that happens where you really need to piss and your
body sleepwalks. Because I used to sleepwalk quite a lot.
Really? How bad?
Not crazy bad. Just like a lot of the time, my parents would put me to sleep, and then about an hour later, I'd just come downstairs sleepwalking and just sit back on the sofa.
So just really inane shit.
Yeah, inane shit. Really inane shit. But I'm a very deep sleeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that isn't like a senile thing that I'm gonna get.
Yeah. Well, it'll be good for the pod if you become a kind of serial a sleepwalking pisser. Yeah.
Well, I hope my sleepwalking stuff just knows where the toilet is next time.
Yeah, if you can try and do enough exercise.
I did it in fairness.
Mind map where the toilet is.
Yeah. In fairness to Sleepwalking Drew,
sure,
he did it in the best place possible in the room. Yeah. I've got fucking drunk it in there. Can you imagine if I pissed on that? That would be the fucking...
And you have a long history of breaking electrical equipment via liquids. That's like one of your big things. It's one of my big things, is that you've destroyed so much expensive...
before yet, actually. It's mostly beer. It's always been beer. Not piss yet, though.
No.
It should be nice to add to my catalogue.
So different liquids that have destroyed.
Yeah, but that was...
technology.
It was interesting, and it's just something to keep in mind. You can't really keep anything in mind about it, though.
Yeah.
It just happened, and then we're off.
It's just a concerning precedent about aging.
Well, I really don't think it's an Asian thing. I'd hope
an Asian thing.
An Asian thing.
Yeah,
it's definitely
I hope
not an Asian thing.
I hope it's not. But also, talking about Andrew's, of just drinking, we did go on a bottomless brunch. It was my first bottomless brunch.
First bottomless brunch at all, as well.
With our home friends who are, or probably will always be in my life the biggest group of friends. And that's not in most people's life the biggest, like size-wise.
Yeah.
Something I always find funny about that group is
quantity.
We have kind of school friends who have all stayed friends, and it's just like, they've all stayed friends.
Yeah.
Very few people have dropped off.
There's very few drop off. There's literally only a couple.
So it's like, it's like this huge group of people, and like. It was one of our friends.
We're adding to it, really. With girlfriends, boyfriends, uni friends.
It's becoming unmanageable. There's 40 people at a bottomless...
For one birthday. It's a fucking nightmare. Because it gets to the point where I have to invite these 50 other people.
It's like being it feels like an Irish family, Every wedding you've got to get all the cousins involved.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. Every birthday is like an Indian wedding, to be fair. It's just everyone has to come. And I just the bottomless brews. Oh God, I think that's big. That's really a big one. That's huge.
No, don't laugh.
It's gone.
You can't laugh when you got it.
Yeah, and that was.
It's a bit like helium, that.
Yeah, it is.
It's just not as high pitched.
Yeah. But yeah, Bottomless brunch. I've never been involved with the spectacle. But yes, I can see it is what I expected it to be in many ways. And I can, well, it's more now I understand why it's such leads to such ratchet.
Yeah.
things.
It didn't surprise me why it leads to ratchet.
Yeah.
Behavior, because it is just unlimited alcohol.
Yeah.
It's not the most difficult equation to put together. You don't have to go and experience
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it was my first one. It was something, I think it was both of our first ones, was it? So I was enjoying playing up to the character of it. I was trying to gossip a lot more than I do usually. Just I feel like that's what happens at Bottomless brunches.
You're not a big gossip person.
No, and network with strangers.
Sure.
Who I don't have a card or anything.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I'm a bit of a convert in a way. I had a great time.
Really?
The Bottomless bubbles were great.
Did you love it?
What,
Because
the
you were
best-
chatting a lot of shit going in.
I was. No,
Yeah.
just more about what I expected it to be. But then I think part of the reason it was great was because there were 50 of us and there was no one else there. So it was just like your friends in a restaurant and you could just have unlimited alcohol. The good thing about it I liked is you pour yourself a glass of Prosecco or whatever. And you walk around, go and talk to someone else. You just pick up any fucking bottle you want.
Yeah,
Just, And that's the whole fucking point. Just, have a bit of that, bit of that.
Potions, mix it.
Potions, exactly.
Yeah. It certainly
Frivolous.
felt like a Greek orgy. The Bookmark Boys.
Who are the Bookmark Boys?
The Bookmark Boys to me is the space between us. Spiritually.
It's the space between you and it's the space between I.
Yeah, it is the God particle. It is the very matter that holds the universe together. It doesn't come up on a microscope, but it is in all of us.
It's in all of us tacitly.
Yeah, the Bookmark Boys.
In all of us, there is a bookmark, and in every bookmark, there is all of us.
In every boy, there is another bookmark. It's not adding to anything. Get yourself these bookmarks because, some people say maybe, when you're trying to shift bookmarks, there's only so much you can say. If you're
we've managed to get about 70 different ads of nonsense out of it.
If you're doing a weekly advert for a product is single use and
quite
uncomplex as a bookmark,
very clear what the purpose of it is for. There's really not much riffing you can do.
It's not like Manscaped.
No.
It's not like, Wix.
It's put this in your book to save the place. And there's funny captions and celebrities on it.
But this will be the kind of... We're going to prove to you that there's more to be gained out of the concept of trying to shift bookmarks. If you want a bookmark...
Just fucking get one.
Just fucking get them.
Shitting by
We don't
one.
see any numbers, so we don't know if they are or they aren't. So we're going to be frustrated nonetheless, because we'll never know, even if there's a big boom in bookmarks.
Do we have a code? Have we ever had a code?
Bookmarks Gone Wild could be it.
Or just Boys Gone Wild?
Or Boys Gone Wild.
I don't know, just type some other shit in and see what happens.
Bookmark Boys.
Bookmark
the only
Boys.
bookmarks for you.
With a code.
How do people skip these ads?
I
skip all the ads.
I always skip ads.
I always skip
But
ads.
I feel like maybe this
I think
is
each time they're trying to work out.
Maybe this is me being a bit narcissistic, but I feel like we bring we don't do serious ads.
Yeah.
We've never actually, even in...
We don't get paid enough.
Even in Tim Dillon, he'll sit there and he'll stop the conversation and then doing serious ad reads. He doesn't bring his own comedy to it. Well, I feel like we do because the Bookmark Boys.
Yeah, it's interesting with hardcore comedy podcasts is that they don't fuck around when it comes to adverts because you can't because you that's your bread and butter. That's what you're making cash from. So it will be a sad day when we're not broke. When we've actually got some money, and you'll just see us seriously, honestly, Gaviscon changed my life.
But that's why I want to do Gaviscon.
So that
I really believe in the product firmly, and I'd happily do all the ad reads for it.
I'd like to do. I would like to style I would like some sort of trendy practical zip-offs because, as you know.
Yeah,
zip-offs is something that I'm waiting for fashion to come round.
Yes,
because I do believe that they are a great.
Just start doing it. Just start wearing them. Then.
I think so. I think I've seen high fashion people wear jeans.
You couldn't though.
Why not?
Legs.
Because I got them.
Your white little chicken legs.
Yeah, but that means I shouldn't wear shorts anyway.
Exactly.
What's the difference?
There isn't.
There is.
But you can't be zipping off.
I can be zipping off.
But you shouldn't wear shorts.
No.
You're not going to set a style with the fact you can't wear shorts.
Okay, listen here.
I'm listening here.
Okay, now I'm stressed. I don't think you're listening.
I'm not listening anymore.
No, listen here.
I'm here.
Listen here.
I'm half listening.
I'll earn your listening.
Yeah.
I get very hot legs. All right. I get warmed up very easily. I need to have ventilation. Whenever it's even slightly hot, I need to have shorts off. That's why zip-offs.
It's because your legs are so hairy.
It's partly because it's almost definitely because of that. If I'm in the park and I'm with I'm with the boys, I'm not sexually attracting them.
You're not sexually
on purpose,
right? And nor are you sexually attracted to them.
No, exactly.
On purpose.
I'm straight. They're my friends.
Purpose.
On purpose.
That's all that's going around your head. I don't fancy them. I don't fancy them. I don't fancy them.
It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. I am hot. It's a sunny day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear trousers because I'm embarrassed about my legs. Okay.
But
so I would wear my zip-offs, chilling out with the guys. Oh wait, a huge group of fly honeys come round. I'm talking 70.
70 fly. How many boys are there?
There's only 4.
There's only 4 of us.
70 just supermodel, 10 out of 10 hotties. Okay.
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Like Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna's there. We're talking like 15 hotties to one guy here.
Huge numbers.
Any others?
Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand. She's made the cut.
She makes.
And that's just a couple.
Yeah.
There's 68 more fly hotties to go around.
Loads of them.
Yeah.
And there's a huge pack. The kind of the high pitch kind of like is coming towards me. I've got time to act before they steam my legs.
We see them coming from afar.
Yeah.
Because in reality...
Shit. You
see a group of 70 coming from afar, but you see a group of 70 fly honeys coming from even further.
From even further. You just know my spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah.
If I'm just wearing shorts, I'm fucked. I'm hiding behind a tree. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
Zip-offs, bang. Before you know it, I'm fucking all of them. Methodically. So you're not leaving any for us? No. Because you got your shorts out.
Because I've got my shorts on.
You got your shorts on. And I've zipped back on and they're like, who's this fine gentleman? And then you're like, wow, they're going to fuck all of us. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Just this fella. And I'll be like, see you guys later. I'll be back in a week. Because I'm working through them. And I'm not just fucking them. I'm not just...
You're taking them out.
I'm building emotional...
long-term relationships with all of them. You're establishing a harem. And all because of zip-off trousers. Well, I guess you look even better. I think what works well about this could be an advert for zip-off trousers.
This is an advert for zip-offs. Zip-offs.
If there's any zip-on trouser companies listening,
please.
If I think the reason it works even better as well is because if you're wearing the trousers, right, we're all wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And it's like the diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
So it kind of necessitates us not having zip-ons. Otherwise, you'd have to share the honeys.
Also, cold winter day.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing trousers. 70 fly honeys come down the street, all in massive coats because it's freezing.
That man must have very high body heat.
Yeah. You zip them off. Everyone else is wearing trousers. It's like...
This guy can hack it. Yeah. If he can hack wearing shorts in this cold weather, he can handle all 70 of us.
Little did they know, you've only been wearing shorts for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. Less than that. 20. It's freezing.
It's 30 seconds.
Yeah, they don't know that.
But you've already given them all 70 of them your number, and then they leave, and then you put your fucking trousers back on.
In my dream scenario, obviously zip-offs are classically it would be 4 compartments.
Yeah.
So you've got 3/4 lengths. You've got 3/4 lengths.
No,
you've got shorts. And then you've got shorts.
Now, we've worked out the shorts to trousers.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me a situation where having trousers that can turn into 3/4 lengths would suit you.
All right.
Sexually.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah, and not just sexually.
Old school golfing. An event that's celebrating old school golfing.
Right. 70 old men are walking towards you. They've got their clubs out, they're ready to go. Let's say,
everyone else is wearing trousers.
Fancy hitting the course nearby? Oh, wait. You guys aren't wearing appropriate trousers because this is old school golf, not new school golf. Whereas Horatio Gould has nipped behind a tree and has already zipped off his...
Fast as lightning.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And then, then puts a very small amount of trouser that he's taken off into one of the many pockets he has in them. Right, give me another.
So I'm working my way through them. If you're I think 3/4 lengths are good if you're out in the bush. They're good for survival things when you're in the African savannah when it's hot.
Is that just because like BBC presenters have worn those?
No,
because it doesn't actually seem to be that good.
No, it is.
If you're in a place where there's loads of creepy crawlies around, you'd want something.
No, it's not about that. It's about long grass. It's about the constant changing.
Live.
Yeah. And if you are letting a bit of air out. Now, I don't know how that adds sexually.
I'm not sure the science really works.
Admittedly, the 3/4 lengths, though I think they're practical, I do think there's definitely chances where sometimes it's that... But, you know, on a basic level, there's going to be a temperature where you want 3/4 lengths. I don't know if I can sell the attractiveness level that I can on the other ones. I don't know how many fly honeys I'm catching my 3/4 lengths. However, short shorts...
You're also running around one of those massive nets as well.
Short shorts. I'm on a mission. All right, yeah. I'm working for the CIA.
Right.
I've got to infiltrate.
What's the mission? Yeah.
I've got to infiltrate, kind of YMCA LGBT community.
Yeah, because of gay terrorism.
Because of the increased threat to domestic.
Yeah. And that's not terrorists against gay people.
You know, I know it's a stereotype, but it's true. Gay people do a lot of terrorism.
A lot of terrorism. It's astonishing. Every like bad event you hear, then it's like, bam, the gay people have claimed it.
I'm just saying, if you're wearing broad shorts in a gay club, you start standing out.
Okay. So, if I presume you're undercover in this mission.
I am undercover.
Why do you need trousers then? Because we all know gay people wear short shorts 24/7.
Because I'm doing two jobs at once.
Right.
I'm also trying to infiltrate a hard,
old school golfing group. Well, it could be the new James Bond.
Like a drug gang who are very homophobic because it's, you know, you're living a hard life. I don't think they've crossed those lines.
MI6 have sent
CIA.
you on a...
I said CIA.
You're American in this, of course. My bad. The CIA have sent you on a simultaneous mission to infiltrate both a drug gang and the gay community and gay terrorists at the same time. But it's tough act to balance, but who else could do it? Other than Agent Gould.
With his fork.
And the only thing, you've got the same skill set as you have now, but the only thing you have is detachable trousers of 4 different lengths.
James Bond, Q. He's like, I've got something new for you, James Bond. You'll never believe this.
Never.
And it's got there's no button that says something. It's just like, and then you think, oh, here's one compartment, here's another compartment, here's another one. That'd be great, because you could also... Oh my God! I now want to direct the next James Bond. Yeah. Oh my God! The story is told in 4 parts.
What do you mean? Does it start off with the gay terrorist and eventually end up at the...
No. It starts off with the longest trousers. Obviously,
we take him down.
Obviously, you don't want it to be going back. You want it to be going up the legs. So you start off with the trousers.
But there is you miss an element of comedy in someone trying to reattach the trousers.
I don't know. I feel like it's constant.
I think it's 4 simultaneous stories, almost like an anthology within one film, where we flip between it, and there's different styles for each storyline.
And you know which one it is
because of how long the trousers are.
That is genius.
Oh, what's he doing there? Is he?
He's
the gay terrorist because he's the short shorts.
He's been to a Russian oligarch on a golf course, not a gay course, on a golf course.
Right, yeah.
So he needs the 3/4 lengths, you know.
So old school golf might be a bit tenuous.
He's in the savannah and it's very mild.
Okay.
Admittedly, the 3/4 lengths, I have not thought about it. But
no. Let's say old school. You're infiltrating a gang of old school golfers.
Yeah.
That's what the 3/4 lengths are. That's your infiltration.
Yeah.
Trousers, just make it easy. Drug gang, get your.
But I still like the idea of the original thing about working my way through 70 fly honeys.
Yeah, but that's what you can get. Right, that's what you get. Right, trousers. We'll just do drug.
Because we need sex.
But you have to give
James Bond.
Yeah. Well, the trousers could just be a drug gang. Get the usual Bond stuff. Get the usual Bond fans in. Get them there. And then the 3/4 length is the old school golf gang.
Sure.
And then the shorts are because you need to infiltrate a harem, essentially, of women.
It's beautiful women.
There's 70 women, including Barbara Streisand, who have key information to some sort of important event. And your job is to go undercover and fuck them all and gain information. It's like you can't just fuck 5 of them.
For Queen and Country.
For Queen and Country, you need to go have sex with 70 fly honeys.
For Queen and Country.
Because every one of them knows something different. And then the short shorts, you're infiltrating a gay terrorist gang.
It's the perfect crime.
No, it's the perfect solving of the crime.
It's the perfect solving of the crime.
Agent Gould.
So Dave Chapelle got clarted in the face.
He got smashed in the schnoz.
So is this
what we're doing now?
Is this? Do you think there's people who are linking it?
It's the beginning of the end.
Do you think it has any link to the Will Smith thing? Do you think there's anything there?
I think
Have the floodgates open?
I think there was a bit of me because after the Will Smith incident, it's a lot of my YouTube was just comedians acting to Will Smith, Chris Rock, and so I watched all of them, and a lot of it was a bit of a performative thing of just like, oh, well, we can't get on stage anymore without the threat of this violence.
Nonsense,
and it was so much of that. It was like, just relax a bit, guys. So I don't like that straight after that's happened, that they give some evidence to this, that it could just be a thing. He is probably the most controversial comic on the planet right now. So if anyone was going to get assaulted on stage, it would be probably Dave Chapelle compared to anyone else. So the only question was, this wasn't a celebrity. This was obviously a random member of the public. Do you think him watching Will Smith at the Oscars emboldened him
Copycat killer.
to take a copycat killer?
Yeah. So if you look at an interesting fact is that school shootings only started happening after Columbine in 2001. Which, guns have been relatively available. It was only...
You're not comparing Will Smith to Columbine.
I am.
But you are.
But I am. And also, you might think, that seems... The logic is there.
Yeah.
Because...
Trace the logic.
People have been able to hit performers. That's an option. People have been able to shoot up a school. That's been an option. It wasn't until you saw it happen that you're like, all right. And then after Columbine, there was so many school shootings.
And you visualise it. And it's like, it's no longer you have to sit quietly in your seat with it being, I'm unhappy with what's being said on stage. Now, if Will Smith can do it at the Oscars, why can't Pete do it in a small comedy
do it
club?
too. So, I don't know. I think a lot of people are also very anti-comedians saying it's setting a bad precedent and it's making on stage. There was too anti, and this has shown that potentially that there is, people thinking more.
The hilarious thing about it is the guy's arm got absolutely fucked up.
So fucked up.
I think they probably assaulted him quite a lot behind stage because there's a bit. I saw a video of Chappelle coming back on and talking about how he never stomped someone. He said, I've been doing comedy for this many years, and that's the first time I've just stomped on a guy backstage.
Oh, I didn't see that much of the... I couldn't
Chris Rock came on.
Yeah, I saw the Chris Rock...
was that Will Smith?
Yeah. Yeah, you got
it, absolutely. You have to.
And
if I was there, I would have been crying with laughter.
I would have been...
Just cut that tension, man.
Yeah.
Cut that tension.
Beautiful. And what's interesting about Dave Chapelle is Stuart Lee's got a new special coming out on BBC Two. 2 new specials. And in the show I've seen live, he discusses at length talks about Dave Chapelle and Dave Chappelle's kind of quite absurd backstage riders / bodyguard team. So
just quickly before you continue, apparently he upped his security because of all the trans controversy for this event and stuff.
That makes sense. But so Stuart Lee's whole thing is about he was performing at Leicester Square Theatre. Chappelle was on after him.
Really? It's an interesting bill.
Yeah, it's an interesting bill. And he does this whole thing about it. And he came back because he'd forgotten something in the dressing room. And everyone was very stressed out. Yeah. His dressing room, all the light bulbs have been changed to red light bulbs. And sitting on the table were 2 spinning rotisserie chickens.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was just like, he clearly has a thing where every show he makes this kind of wild thing. And then this really cramped Leicester Square Theatre, Stuart Lee has a couple of bananas, that's his sort of right.
It's like one of the biggest English comedians versus one of the biggest American comedians.
It's very...
couple of bananas versus spinning chicken in red lights, yeah.
And he does a very long Stuart Lee-esque bit because obviously he's trying to find new comedians that he can beef with, but now he's like the most respected comedian. Him slagging off Russell Howard.
Yeah, it just feels
It feels like it's punching down in a way.
Does, yeah.
So Dave Chappelle's his last target.
Exactly. Which I bet he went in there and just smiled.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. So seeing as soon as they ran on stage, did you see like the 8 guys who ran out?
Yeah. One of them was Jamie Foxx.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Jamie Foxx now working as a
bouncer?
Or do you think he was just chilling?
Probably researching a role.
Yeah.
No, there were loads of them there because I think he would have been performing in some capacity or just hanging out with Dave, as every single black celebrity seems to do. They're always all there. But
Lenny Henry isn't there.
Then he a bigger mission. A bigger mission, I'd argue. That would be great. Just sort of put an Instagram thing of Lenny Henry and Dave Chapelle with Chris Rock and like Jay-Z. But he was there and he like ran out onto stage immediately as well and like dragged him off or something.
I think everyone is like, I've got a time to shine here.
Oh yeah, and then he also Chappelle then brought out Jamie, and then he did a bit of a thing about we have to protect him. He's a treasure kind of thing. It was like, don't ruin it.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it. You've done something cool now.
You need to see. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. But you are running out with like 6 elite security guards. You know,
it's a bit like when I got punched in the face.
Yeah.
And you didn't run anywhere.
I wasn't with 6 elite security guards, actually.
Yeah, so you just decided to leave me with the 8 elite fighters.
I'd do it again.
I agree.
Because if I'd got clattered, then God knows what happened to those guys. God only knows. But it would have escalated.
But we know you'd be in jail at least.
Yeah, for the crimes I've committed. I would have seen red.
Yeah.
A big biter. But yeah, I just found it funny seeing them all run at once. And well, maybe it's justified. Because someone had literally... I'm just fascinated to know what actually...
Well, of course it's justified that
'cause
security
they
ran
fucked him
out.
up.
Well, his arm, man.
The most fucked I've ever seen an arm. Fuck me.
Well, apparently he had... I've read, I think it was on BBC, that he had like... So this is what makes it a bit interesting because it makes it seem more meditated rather than spontaneous. Because he had like fake knives or something and a fake gun on him.
Yeah.
So that's he came to the gig with those things. I presume you can't buy those at a gig.
Yeah, no.
Haven't been to the
It's
Hollywood Bowl.
Chappelle merch.
Yeah, Chappelle merch. But like he had those in there, so I think he was there to cause a scene.
Cause a ruckus.
Cause a ruckus. So it wasn't like he didn't like one specific joke and went, actually, no, I'm not taking that, and ran up. He was there to do it. But his arm was fucked up.
I guess we have to wait to find. By the time this comes out, there'll probably be more information. But I am very fascinated to know what he was thinking. Something we never touched on is a real fun story, a real Boys Gone Wild story, a bit of brevity in the political situation. There's not loads to be excited about in British politics, but a Conservative MP has been caught watching porn in Parliament. If you're not from the UK and a broad listener, I don't know if this story's come to you, but it's a truly, it's one of the. It feels like there's big mad stories that happen in the last kind of 5 years. Trump, Brexit, which are puckered by the smaller, bizarre ones, which create this feeling of not knowing what's real and what's fake anymore.
Yeah,
because
there's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground.
It's either globally devastating, or individually hilarious.
Matt Letizia denying the Bucha war crimes.
The Ukraine war.
It's
those two things. Globally devastating, individually ridiculous.
So Neil Parish, the MP, has been caught watching porn in Parliament. And now when this came out...
I like that his name's Parish.
Yeah,
it's just a bit clerical.
It's a bit clerical. When this came out, I was pretty confident, even though I, fuck the Tories and all that, I was pretty confident it was an accident.
Even though you fucked the Tories?
Even though fuck the Tories.
Yeah.
No, even though fuck the Tories.
Yeah.
And I would love to get on the bandwagon of them, sure. I was like, here we go. This is the kind of liberal machine pushing out, wanting this to be the case.
Were you? You thought
I don't think... I think it's so unlikely. I know that a lot of politicians are on their phone all the time. In Parliament,
Emails.
And they're fucking. He's old as shit.
He's looking up stats.
And there's so many on WhatsApp group chats. You open something and it ends up being porn. That's so much more likely to be the case.
I'm not sure that's actually ever happened to me.
It's happened to me a couple of times.
So you've opened something on a group chat and it ends to be porn.
And the punchline of the thing will be like you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah,
and then it ends up being someone fucking someone.
It's not mental that you accidentally end up watching porn.
That's what I think. I was just like, well, it is, but it's not more mental than purposely watching porn in Parliament. I was like, what's the more
Where
mental?
was it in? It wouldn't be in the actual House of Commons.
It was in the House of Commons.
He was sitting on the green seats.
Yeah. At least that's how I imagine in my head.
Really?
That's what I thought.
They would have said that. They just said in Parliament. They would have said in the House of Commons.
You should be allowed to do it in your office.
Should you?
You need to...
I think the problem is they're paid by the taxpayer.
That is...
Do you think a politician should be able to sit in their office on technically our time and watch pornography? And I'm saying this as someone who isn't adverse to a spontaneous wank.
Neil Parish has told the BBC he is resigning as an MP after admitting he watched pornography twice in Parliament.
They would have said that if they would they're obviously going to try and sensationalise the story. If it was in the House of Commons, they would have mentioned it.
Claimed they said seen him looking at adult content on his phone while sitting near them.
Yeah, that's not in the House of Commons. It'll be in Parliament.
He admitted that second time had been deliberate and that happened in the House of Commons while he was sitting waiting to vote. Okay.
Oh my God. He was waiting to vote. He admitted that.
Asked about why he decided to watch the material in the Commons, Mr. Parish said he did not know and that he must have taken a complete leave of my senses and a sense of decency.
What was he about to vote on? Do you reckon it was just like an agricultural bill and he was bored?
Yeah. So I think they were both in the House of Commons. And to me, I was like...
Why did they not specify that? Because someone's got caught watching porn before.
Have they?
Yeah, in Parliament. It's happened before.
In the actual House.
But I don't think it was in the House. It wasn't in the House of Commons. It was like around Parliament.
So I really
didn't. Restaurant.
I really thought it was actually going to be quite a dull story in the end. But what I absolutely loved, is Neil Parish in his orchard, seemingly in his seemingly country home orchard.
Yeah, a lot of tall weeds.
There's nothing better than sort of posh British men being embarrassed by the media, because it's just your absolute worst nightmare. And an embarrassed British man is the most visibly. We're an embarrassed people anyway. So when something terribly embarrassing happens, it's just wonderful to see.
Yeah.
It was the way that he was asked live on the news. It was a news interview saying, "Did you watch porn in Parliament?" And he goes, "I'm going to await the findings of the inquiry."
And then the best thing about it, the reporter then repeated the question, because he was like,
"Did you watch porn in Parliament?" I'm gonna
be waiting for the results. Now it's...
Is there anything more absurd that we've reached basically a normalised thing that politicians lie to us?
Yeah.
That they don't have to tell the truth.
Well, of course.
That they can just say, "I'm going to wait to see if I lied to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait to see if I can get away with lying to you."
Now it's obviously the thing that's been happening recently with Partygate.
Yeah, with Johnson and all that.
The thing is with that happened, one, we all knew he was lying, right?
As soon as, because you would say no if you weren't.
Yeah, he'll be obviously like, "No, I've never done that." And of course he's lying, but what it does is introduce an element. One, it's an easy thing because they can say, I don't want to get in the way of the legal process. But it also introduced an element of doubt. Like it is, we all know he's lying, but there's a slight potential that he might not exactly remember what happened like 8 months ago or like a year ago about a specific event or day. You're going to remember if you got porn up in the House of Commons.
You're going to remember. It's more worrying if you don't remember it, because it's just... Because twice he admits to... Twice he's been caught.
Oh, I did that, but I reckon what he's done is he's looked up at how Boris and everyone else is doing the whole inquiry line, and he's just used that, and he's used it in the completely wrong place. He's been like, "That's what they're all saying. That should work." And everyone's
not
being
now,
like,
Neil.
No, Neil, if you watch porn,
there's politics to be played, and then there's like...
I bet even their inquiry going, just tell him. Just fucking tell him.
Or just deny. That's what I would. If I was genuinely trying to keep my job, I reckon it's something you have plausible deniability on.
But if the inquiry...
How does the inquiry find out?
Multiple eyewitnesses.
Yeah, and then I'd just keep
politically
saying
charged.
It was an accident. I would just play dumb, and I reckon you could play dumb.
You couldn't say it was an accident if you don't remember it happening at all.
No, I would have gone from the start. It was.
So you would have said you were watching porn, but it was an accident.
I would have said it wasn't. Yeah.
And then said the leader of the opposition sent it to me. Get him this shit. Keir Starmer sent it to me. And I went, "Oh, what's this? It must be some political statistics." Oh no, it's porn.
It's something like that. I would, in all seriousness, if I was trying to keep my job, if I hadn't already given up by the fact, and I was trying to hold on, ride it out, and then try and have a comeback as a politician, I would deny, and I reckon eventually you'd be all right. I do genuinely think that, because it's such an absurd story.
And it's a funny story that isn't going to stay around us long.
I don't think then something will happen in Ukraine and it'll get washed over. He so clearly knew that he was lying.
He said, I'm sure he said this, He said, so for the one that he's admitted to doing, he said that he was looking up tractors.
And then accidentally put in porn actors. Okay, so...
Now I'm, again, absolute drivel.
So he...
How many times have you looked up porn actors and accidentally got images of tractors? I mean, also, I was about to say who types in porn actors, but he's about 60.
I don't think...
So he could well be doing that.
I don't think he's the sharpest tool in the shed, and I think he's obviously fucked it with the pornography in Parliament. Yeah. But we all fuck up.
Yeah.
What I think...
We wouldn't last long in Parliament, so who are we to judge?
You wouldn't last long.
No, I mean, I wouldn't watch porn. I know. No, I wouldn't. The problem is I don't really watch porn, so it would be MP Kermit gets caught back in it. And I'll say, yeah, I did it. Fair enough. It's crazy.
Hey, sue me. You try and do a Trump thing where you're just aggressively honest to the point where you're untouchable.
I kind of be like, it's crazy I got elected, so...
Well, as you said, your nude defence...
My nude defence would be impervious. I'd be like, yeah, I did. And I'm chill with that.
And I'll do it again.
I've never sent a non-consensual nude because I'm not a maniac. Therefore, it's like, chill. Yeah. It's like, she sent me stuff as well. What do you want me to do? Not reply?
Yeah. Anyone who wants to see a nude can see it if they ask for it.
Come and literally drop into my DMs.
Yeah, drop it. I'll send you one.
Or just come to the toilet.
Yeah.
I'll show you it live. I compare balls of Adam in this weekend. What's wrong with it?
With the shadow homosexual.
It's got double the size of my balls. It's astonishing. You've just got to live it, own it. Sending a nude isn't bad.
I mean, porn.
It's moderately embarrassing. The only thing I find embarrassing is that it's one of the only times I'm quite sincere.
Yeah,
that's the. So I wouldn't want my face in it, and it would just be like trying to be a sexy face. Because the one thing I don't know what to do in a nude is the face.
Are you getting your face into your nudes?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
To sort of ID it.
Yeah.
So because otherwise it could be anyone's knob.
I don't think the women I'm sending nudes to are concerned that I'm using someone else's body. No, because it's hot.
When I take it, I get a toy London bus and I put it next to
I hold up today's newspaper.
Well, because it could have been your knob from the past.
Yeah, well, it could have just been Getty Images.
Yeah.
But
with a toy London bus,
yeah,
they think my knob's bigger than...
Right, so you think it... And then in the bracket at the bottom with an asterisk to scale.
So they think my knob is ginormous.
Like bigger than a double-decker bus. Yeah, I'm liking that, yeah.
Even though, smaller than a double-decker bus, because it's smaller than the toy.
So it's not even that impressive if it was to scale of an actual size double-decker bus.
It's a micro penis.
Yeah, micro penis.
To scale, it's still this...
To scale, you're like, well, I guess he's comparing it to a double-decker bus, so it must be reasonable sized. But no, you include the face, because if you actually think about it, if you put yourself in the woman's position...
Yeah.
And in the male position, the same for both. Just seeing, when you see like a nude with the head cut off, there's something weird about it. There's something like you're looking at a mannequin. The face in changes the game. Then it becomes hot.
As I said, I'm not a big nude sender.
As I say, and you can see I get really sincere when I talk about it. Sex isn't funny, so let's not laugh at it.
Sorry, back on the Parliament porn thing.
Yeah.
Because there's still a lot to unpack. Which, these things happen so thick and fast. I do think there's a lot of things happening that are boys gone wild, like just whatever boys gone wild energy is.
Well gone wild.
Like a patron recently said, do an episode on Pete Doherty for Boys Gone Wild. Yeah. And I think, thanks very much for the patronage.
Absolutely.
You're all,
You're a champion.
You're all champions. But I do think this happened when I started my early season.
Yeah.
I had people message saying, do Liam Gallagher or anything. And it's a misunderstanding of what Boys Gone Wild is. It's not party goers, drinking, staying up all night, doing all this kind of stuff. It's normally actually people attempted to do something.
Men who have fucked it.
Men who have fucked it.
Simple.
Men who have fucked it.
Men who have fucked it. And often they're in a position where they shouldn't fuck it.
Exactly. Glenn Hoddle, Matt Letizia, Neil Parish. They're all BGW Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Neil Parish is going on the Hall of Fame. Not just because he watched porn in the House of Commons, which is already a BGW hilarious.
It's a Hall of Famer.
The reason which makes it a BGW classic is that he was asked about it in his orchard, and he said, I'm going to wait to find out from the inquiry. And he said, I was looking up tractors. That's the BGW moment.
Right there.
That's it. The porn in the House of Commons is neither here nor there. It's fucking you've got a small window, and you've got to perform. That's what I'm obsessed with comedically. Is in life, there's little windows where you've got to perform. Like, he could have had the performance of his life or just pulled out all the stops and managed somehow to get away with it. In a way, respectfully, Johnson can sometimes do. Just when the pressure's on, somehow get out of it. You know? He had that little window of pressure and he fucked it twice. He just didn't rise to the challenge in any way whatsoever.
No way whatsoever.
Just completely
no way, shape,
fumbled the bag.
Yeah. I mean, but both of them are absolute drivel.
What I like, he denied it and then resigned the next day, which is just so funny. I didn't do it.
Started off with tractors.
All right, I'm leaving.
Starting off with tractors, then the results of the inquiry, then I'm going to resign. It's like, just pick a lane, mate. Pick a lane and stay in it.
He just kept fucking it.
He just kept fucking it. And speaking of men fucking it, Boris Becker.
Boris Becker.
Boris Becker's in jail. It's like...
Hold up. We're going to carry on this conversation on the Patreon. Thank you very much for...
And we have a big secret to reveal.
Oh, wow. And there's Cheryl Cole is naked.
Cheryl Cole is literally waiting outside in the nude.
What about women who are attracted to men? How are we going to get them in?
Novak Djokovic.
Novak Djokovic. He's just there to have an interesting talk.
He's unvaccinated.
Unvaccinated, but he's going to have
pure blood.
Yeah. Anyway.
And it's all in his dick.
Subscribe to the Patreon. We've got a ticket link below for the live podcast. That will be the Bill Murray, Monday, 30th of May. Get on down. I want to see your lovely faces and, let's connect.
Let's network.
Let's network. Is there anything else we need to say?
No, we're good.
That's good. That's everything done. Thank you. See you guys next week.